This man was trying to escape his debts, so he hid inside an antique wardrobe being transported on a truck. When he finally climbed out, he realized he was inside a stranger's bedroom. Just as he was about to leave, he heard footsteps coming upstairs. Panicked, he quickly crawled under the bed. That's when he overheard the couple talking. The wife mentioned that the wardrobe was a family heirloom from her grandfather. They had no intention of using it. It was just for display. Since he had nowhere else to go, he decided to hide inside the wardrobe for now. That night, once the couple fell asleep, he carefully crawled out from under the bed and rushed to the bathroom to relieve himself after holding it in for hours. But instead of running away, he quietly returned to the bedroom, slipped under the bed again, and planned to spend the night there. The next morning, after making sure the family had left for work, he finally dared to move around the house. First, he borrowed the husband's razor to shave. Then he took a shower, dried off with a hairdryer. After that, he opened the fridge, poured himself some milk, and had milk with cookies for breakfast. When he was done, he even politely washed all the dishes. Then he found a tracksuit and changed into it. But what he did next was even more unbelievable. He moved the antique wardrobe aside, removed the back panel of the white wardrobe behind it, then took off the back of the antique wardrobe as well. Now the two wardrobes were connected. Just as he finished, he heard someone coming home, so he quickly put everything back, slipped into the antique wardrobe, reattached the back panel, and hid inside the white wardrobe. But had he really covered his tracks completely? Let's keep watching. As soon as the wife stepped inside, she immediately felt something was off. The kitchen was always messy, but today it was spotless. She couldn't understand why. Later, as she was about to change in the bedroom, she suddenly felt like she was being watched. That evening, when her husband got home, she told him about everything, but he dismissed it, blaming her memory loss on her illness, saying she probably forgot she had done the dishes herself. The next morning, after the family left for work again, he climbed out of the wardrobe. This time he was even more cautious. He closed all the curtains, just in case someone outside could see in. Then he sat down to eat his usual breakfast. As always, he washed the dishes afterward, but things got even stranger. Not only did he make the bed the wife had slept in, he even cleaned their daughter's room, and went as far as fixing their broken furniture. He was starting to act more and more like the man of the house, bored out of his mind. That night, after the couple had fallen asleep, he snuck out again, grabbed a book, and took it back to the wardrobe to pass the time. The next day, after making sure the family had left, he came out once more, sat on the couch, and started watching TV. But just as he was washing dishes, the wife came home early. Panicked, he grabbed some cookies and water, and hurried back into the wardrobe. The wife still felt something was wrong. She was sure she hadn't done the dishes that morning. It was too weird. Could her memory loss really be getting worse? That night, she couldn't hold it in any longer. She got up to go to the bathroom. Just as she stepped out of the bedroom, she accidentally ran into her daughter. Seeing him out of the corner of her eye, the daughter froze. He quickly shrank back into the shadows, thinking he was doomed. But surprisingly, the daughter assumed she was just seeing things, and went straight to the bathroom. He finally let out a sigh of relief. But the next day, he overheard the wife on the phone with her mother, and what she said made his blood run cold. She told her mom she felt like there was a fourth person in the house. Hearing this, he knew his cover was about to be blown. But then, the wife continued, "Maybe it's Grandpa's spirit watching over us." Turns out it was just another false alarm. But before he could fully relax, he suddenly heard the wardrobe door open. The wife climbed inside, sat down, and said something that sent a chill down his spine. She asked, "Who are you?"